Razor's planning to do.
A sobbing and shaking Michael Davis apologized to the
Courtroom footage captures the harrowing moment when Kristel Candelario reacts to her life sentence for the tragic abandonment of her 16-month-old daughter, Jailyn.
Your Honor, good morning.
Candelario left her toddler alone in their Cleveland, Ohio home while she vacationed in Puerto Rico for 10 days. This shocking neglect led to the infant's untimely and heartbreaking death. During Candelario's absence, Jailyn was left confined in her crib, her cries and screams echoing through the silent house and neighboring streets, yet tragically unheard or ignored. The distressing sounds eventually ceased as Jailyn succumbed to the severe neglect. Upon discovering the lifeless child, police were confronted with a devastating scene. Jailyn was found severely emaciated, her small frame showing clear signs of prolonged starvation and dehydration. Her eyes were sunken, her lips were dry and cracked, and there was fecal matter around her mouth and fingernails, indicating a desperate and futile attempt to find sustenance. The toddler's weight had dropped by 7 pounds since her last doctor's visit 2 months earlier, a stark testament to the severity of her neglect. Candelario was swiftly arrested and charged.
Aggravated murder. I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On count 5, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years to run concurrent to count 1.
During her court proceedings, she pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and child endangering. The courtroom became a somber space as forensic pathologist Elizabeth Mooney provided her expert testimony. Dr. Mooney explained that children between 9 and 18 months experience the most intense separation anxiety, making Jailyn's abandonment all the more torturous. She elaborated, "The feeling of abandonment for days on end, coupled with the pain of starvation and extreme thirst, is a type of suffering I don't think any of us could ever fully fathom." Throughout the trial, Candelario cited her mental health struggles as a contributing factor to her horrific decision. However, the court found these explanations insufficient to excuse the severity of her actions. The judge underscored the magnitude of her crime, highlighting the prolonged and avoidable suffering inflicted upon an innocent and helpless child. Candelario's life sentence without the possibility of parole serves as a grim reminder of the consequences of such profound neglect and abuse. The case has sparked widespread outrage and sorrow, shedding light on the crucial need for vigilant child protection and mental health support systems. It also underscores the importance of community awareness and intervention to prevent similar tragedies in the future. In the aftermath, local authorities and child welfare organizations have emphasized the critical role of community vigilance and reporting. They have urged neighbors, friends, and family members to be proactive in noticing and reporting signs of neglect or abuse. Jailyn's tragic death has catalyzed discussions about improving support networks for struggling parents, reinforcing the necessity of accessible mental health care, and ensuring that children in vulnerable situations are swiftly identified and protected. Kristel Candelario's case stands as a stark and heartbreaking example of the devastating effects of parental neglect. It has prompted a re-evaluation of the systems in place to protect children and support parents, highlighting both the gaps that allowed this tragedy to occur and the urgent need to address them to prevent future occurrences.